Good morning. We are at Humberside Airport, EGNJ, and we're gonna do about it looks like almost 110 nautical mile flight. Be a little bit over an hour once we get flying. So we'll I'll go ahead and do some pre-flight stuff to get the plane ready. And first thing I'm gonna do is get some. I'm gonna use Avatab and get some maps working. So we'll EGNJ. Okay, then we'll get the middle airport, and that is EGNV. November Victor. Okay, and then with the last one is EGNT. EGNT. Okay, so NJ is where we're at. So we can kind of. And the one other thing we need is that's kind of like a map. So we got a map, and back to airports. NJ, we're good. So I think we're in pretty good shape right now. So we'll go ahead and get the plane started and figure out where 121. Yeah, it looks good. And figure out how we get to taxi to the airport. So I'll click on next on my checklist.
2 brakes. Test and set. 3 fuel selector. Both. 4 fuel shut-off valve. On, in. 6 beacon. On. 7 avionics switch. Off. 8 master switch. On. 9 throttle. Open 1/4 inch. 10 mixture. Idle cut off. A auxiliary pump. On. B mixture. Rich until 3 to 5 GPH, then cut off. C auxiliary pump. Off. 12 starter. Engage. 1 ignition switch. Start. 2 mixture, at engine start. Rich. 3 engine. RPM 1000 RPM. 4 oil pressure. Check. 5 mixture. Leaned max. 6 flaps. Retract. 7 avionics. On. 8 instruments.
So the compass is 21 going towards south, and so 21 going towards south, right about there. And field elevation 121. Yep. Yeah, it's probably pretty close. Instruments check.
Set. 1 brakes.
Alrighty, we're good. So we'll go ahead and hide the checklist. I just use it to kind of make sure that I get I kind of follow the right procedures to get the plane started. So I'm going to click on frequencies. So EGNT and J. Tower approach. Yeah, that'll work. So when I do that, that sets it into the standby. So if I flip it, it should be there. And we'll do a little test here. Say weather.
Weather at Echo Golf November Juliet is scattered. Visibility is unrestricted. Winds are 262 at 16 knots. Cloud coverage is 3,300. Few clouds. 4,700 scattered. Current altimeter is 3009er. Temperature 10°.0.
Say active runway.
Arriving and departing runway 20.
Okay. All right. So still need to get the plane warmed up a little bit more. So I can put the frequency array because I'll be talking to tower. And that's the only people I'm going to be talking to right now. So I'll get this back up here. And I'll highlight the plane. And I think this one. So if I zoom in, this should show me where I am. And 20. Okay. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, ready to taxi.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf taxi to runway 20 via taxiways Charlie. Hold short runway 20.
Okay, it says Charlie. Let me zoom a little bit. So, looks like the nose of my plane is pointed in the wrong direction. I'm gonna click this off. So hopefully I can move this. Come on. Okay. So it looks like there's a taxiway over there. Plane's warmed up. See if we can get going. Just doing a little bit of guessing here. Just trying to stay away from the building.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf advise when ready for departure.
I'm working on it. So this should be Charlie. Yes, this is Charlie. Okay. Nav lights on, taxi lights off, landing lights on. Yep. I know. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf ready for departure.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 261 at 16 knots, altimeter 3009 are cleared for takeoff, runway 20.
Okay. So I actually figured that out, not too bad. I don't think there's any reason to back taxi. Runway 20. Rotate. Off we go. So we need to be on a heading of 327. So it looks like I gotta make, I gotta get 500 feet above the ground before I make a turn. Looks like we're good. Go ahead and turn. Turn to the right here. Looking for a heading of 327. So 330 will probably be close enough for right now. Just slowing the turn down a little bit. Okay, that should be good. So which way are we heading? So we're heading kind of west. So we got a ways to go. We got a long ways to go. We got 67 miles to go. So, whoops. So I'm gonna go up to an elevation because we're kind of, looks like we're a bit westbound. If I get on the course, I'll go up to 2,500 and level off.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, have a good morning. Frequency change approved.
They're climbing like this, you're like so blind in front of you. Because I'm climbing at, wow, for a bit there I was climbing at 1,000 feet a minute. So when I get leveled off here, I'll get my maps readjusted and start to enjoy the cruise. Okay, we're coming up on it, so I'm going to pull back to 2,200. I'm pretty well on course. Got to do a little bit of trimming here to get the plane to be about where it belongs, to be level here. Alrighty. So we'll switch this back to satellite view. And trace it a bit. That's probably a good place. And I don't need this right now, so I can move that over to map. And I'm a bit off course. Good morning. How are you doing, Iowa Scotsman? Everything started off pretty good. Didn't have any serious calamities getting going, so we're just in for about a 30-minute flight to get to my first airport. My goal is to do a touch and go there, and we'll see how that goes. How is your day going? Always good to hear. I got to do some testing later on today, but this morning is fun. I got to do some Microsoft Flight Simulator testing and some X-Plane VR testing without using any touch controller, any VR controllers. I'm hearing about a bug if you don't use touch controllers, sometimes the VR mouse doesn't show up. So I thought I would do some testing a little later on today. I was trimming and not looking at my RPM, and I realized I was about 100 RPM higher than where I wanted to be, and I'm like, oops, let me get that fixed. Look, there's an airport over there. Yeah. Right along the river by the looks of it. Pretty nicely modeled. Iowa, have you had a chance to get your COVID-19 vaccine yet? My brother, who also lives in Iowa, said that he got his first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine today, so I was glad to hear that. He had a heart attack a couple of years ago and was a little worried. He doesn't like needles, so was a little worried. So I was glad that he got his first dose, so. Oh, okay. Yeah, we've been pretty lucky here in PA that, at least in the Erie area, that there's my pharmacy I go to, I can get one. UPMC, the hospital that my doctor is affiliated with, I can get one. So I was pretty lucky, and I got both my first and second doses already. So been really, really lucky that way. So because we were looking, and we looked for probably about a week, and all of a sudden they give us a call and says, can you be available for a vaccine tomorrow? And that was probably, that would have been 4 or 5 weeks ago now. We went, absolutely, we'll be there. Well, I hope you can find an appointment. Because the more of us that get vaccinated, the quicker we can put this craziness behind us. Yeah, there are some of them with that. I didn't. My brother, it wasn't clear like where he got his. I'm not sure where he got it at. So, but I just know that he had told the family that that he was scheduled to get one today. So, and he did. So early in the morning. One of the points of interest today is a thing called Angels of the North. It was rendered really nice in Microsoft Flight Simulator, so I'm kind of curious if it'll be rendered at all or not in the Orbix True Earth. So a lot of the things have been rendered fairly well, but not all of them. So there's some of them that I just you know exactly where they're supposed to be. I've got them pinpointed on maps, and it's like, nope, it's not here. But it's all part of the fun here. with their Sim Update 3, they broke the flight plan part. If you pick points of interest as part of your flight plan, then when you look at it like here on the GPS, the magenta line isn't there. And they just released another patch yesterday, and I checked it, and it's still, the magenta line isn't there. So if you have a flight plan with a bunch of points of interest, which is generally what I've been doing, only the very last leg of your flight plan will have a magenta line. All the rest of them will be blank. So it's kind of like, you're kind of like using it. I'm not using it to, I'm using it as a guide. I don't have my GPS on and the plane's flying it. I'm just using it as a guide. So the guide's gone if you're using points of interest. If you use airports, it appears like it works, but you know, but not a point of interest. So it's kind of hoping their last patch fixed it, but it did not. So. And that's kind of why I'm flying an X-plane right now. Is one is I want to have a live comparison, and you know, and until I don't have to work so hard in VR to stream it in Microsoft Flight Simulator, then I already have some pre-canned flight plans that I'll just fly of an X-plane until I find a better plan. Let's jump out for just a bit here. So you chase. Pretty smooth this morning. Pretty happy. So I'm using a Fulcrum 1 yoke, and so it developed a small problem with the yoke slides onto a stainless steel shaft. The yoke slides on a stainless steel shaft, and there's a set screw that tightens it up. But what was going on is when I would tighten the set screw up, all of a sudden, because I fly with like one hand, so I only use my left hand to fly with yoke. I only use my left hand to land the airplane. So I side load the yoke. Just that's the way I was taught to fly. And so it would tend to loosen up. And I realized that what was going on is where the yoke slides onto the shaft, there's like a collet pipe. And when I would tighten up the set screw, it would kind of like making that expand. And I went, well, I says, I got the yoke from UK, so this ain't a big enough problem that I'm gonna complain too much, so I went to the hardware store, found me a hose clamp that was big enough that I could put it over that, drilled a hole in it where the set screw went through, tighten the hose clamp down on it, so when I tighten it up, it ain't gonna move. It ain't gonna spread. And that worked great. And the only other issue I had is where the USB plugs into it, the female part of it's like a little loose. And so I have to kind of pay attention to make sure I plug it in. So the developer, I just told him, just send me the parts, I'll put them on myself. And it's just because, you know, it's got to come from the UK. And he's like, no, we're not going to do that, so I'm going to send you a new one. So sometime, probably within the next week or so, I'll have a replacement, and then I'll have to send this one here back. But it doesn't affect anything. I mean, the yoke is just gorgeous. It's so much fun to fly. It is just not cheap, but I really enjoy this yoke. One of my better investments in flight simming. How far we've moved. Yeah, we dropped about 400 feet. That's the only thing in that view, it's really hard to judge elevation. Really hard. What's a scoop on the next airport? So we got an elevation of 120 feet. Got one runway, 7,000 feet long. It says there's no weather, but it's got a tower. That's kind of crazy. Not sure how you have a tower and you don't have weather, but it is what it is. Yeah, when we get about probably 10 miles out, we'll start making some preparations to what runway's active and all that good stuff. We're still 28 miles out, so way too early to worry about it. Let's zoom this guy out a little bit. Yeah, so you can see we're like coming. We're not on the shoreline, but we're inland a bit, but we're going up along the shore. Then we're going to make a turn here, and then we're going to go that way. So. Yeah, it's one thing I'm trying to replicate when I fly in Microsoft Flight Simulator is the tools that I can have in the VR cockpit to kind of make flying in VR, and especially streaming in VR, make it more enjoyable. So. If all my tools are working like they are today in X-Plane, it makes streaming no different than just flying in VR, so. Yesterday I was doing some Linux troubleshooting with my X-Atic panel plug-in. Had a user from Australia that was having some issues getting it to work with the Ubuntu 20.04, and I'm happy to say that in the end we got it all to work. It was a bit of a struggle because I have Skype, so if you have some method where you can like communicate back and forth without like just sending private messages with just a few sentences in them, man, the amount of time you can save is dramatic. So it took quite a bit longer than I would have liked, but in the end, it worked in the end. So and I actually learned some more stuff about Linux that what should I put this? I knew about, but never had the opportunity to explore, and I explored it a lot. So what was going on is on my X-Atic panels for Linux, just the way Linux deals with them, it thinks it's an input device. And the sad part is it thinks it's a mouse input device. So what happens is that, say like, you got your mouse and you do like a right click and you'll get like a drop down menu. But what would happen is if you spun like a knob on like say a radio panel or the multi-panel, it would interfere with that mouse. So that drop-down window would close and something else may happen that would be mouse related. So there's a method where you can tell it to basically ignore that. Don't do that. Just my plugin takes care of all that Linux doesn't need to bother it. So there's a way where you can give it an option that you basically say ignore true, and it ignores that input stuff. So it worked out really good. So. Okay, we're about 11 minutes out, about 19 miles. So. So the funnier part about my plug-in is that because I now only fly in VR, I don't use it. So whenever anybody has any trouble, I have to kind of pull my panels out of storage and to kind of like do any legitimate troubleshooting and kind of see if I can find a solution. So. Plane just has this tendency to roll to the left. So every so often I got to give it a little bit of corrective action to the roll. And I usually overcorrect, so. Once we're across this ridge here, I'll probably reduce the power a bit and get the plane to descend. Should when I cross the ridge, it should be probably about 10 miles to the airport. So. So the elevation's 120 feet, so about 1,100, 1,200 feet will be patterned. So everything out in front of me is, I don't see anything sticking up, so. I'll pull it back to 2,000. Just do a slow descent here. I don't particularly remember this airport, so I don't have any good insight. We'll just have to react to it when it gets to me. So I'll probably level off at about 1,500 feet. Until I can, or maybe 2,000. Yeah, 1,500 should be okay. If you get too low, too close to pattern, then it makes it a little more difficult to find the airport, so. So I think I'll do 2,000 until I get 5 miles out, and then, yeah, I think I'll do that. So coming up on 2,000, I'll trim it to get level here. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf inbound to land.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, good morning. Squawk 1200 altimeter 3003, enter pattern on a left downwind for runway 23. Call downwind.
I'm trying to find this runway before I'm like right on top of it, so I can get set up for a left downwind. And it looks like when I see the runway, I'm gonna have to make a right-hand turn to get set up for a left downwind. I'm gonna turn this way. Yeah. And so far it's not obvious to me where it is. Unless it's right there. 2 miles out. I believe it's right over there. I'm going to do a teardrop right here. Just trying to keep the elevation and spin around. Should be able to line up for a left downwind here. Yep, got it. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 23, request touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, enter pattern on a left downwind for runway 23. Call downwind.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 23.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, call turning final for runway 23.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds are 241 at 17 knots, cleared for the option runway 23.
Okay. That's the numbers. I'm in the white arc. 1 knot to flaps. Turn in on my base. One more notch of flaps. Wait until I get lined up on my base. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turning final, runway 23.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 241 at 17 knots, cleared for the option runway 23.
Rotate. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I gotta be on the heading of 58. So pretty much right behind me. So since it's a left pattern, I'll do a left-hand turn here. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, cancel landing intentions.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, enter pattern on a left downwind for runway 23. Call downwind, enter pattern on a left downwind for runway 23. Call downwind.
You certainly didn't understand me. Alrighty, I'm gonna pull power back to about 22. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, cancel landing intentions. So we don't have too far to go. Looks like it's 8 miles, so 5 minutes. And I'm saying I'm east enough, I'm at 1500, I'll stay right here. Yeah, so the plane I'm running here in X-Plane is the default Cessna 172. with the Reality Expansion Pack. So it makes the plane more realistic. So when I'm coming in for a landing, if I am on a normal, like a 3-degree approach, and I pull the power all the way back, she's gonna nose down pretty dramatically. So if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna have to be a much steeper approach to make a good landing. So what I've learned over the course of a few flights here is to get the plane trimmed out for airspeed, and then basically use the throttle to prevent the runway from dropping out from beneath me or rising up in front of me. And so far that has worked exceptionally well. So it looks like we're going to a bridge. And it's kind of close, so. So 3 miles away. And it looks like it's supposed to be straight in front of us, so we'll see if we can find it. I don't see it. I'm gonna spin around here. And maybe it's something that I just don't know what it is. That's always a distinct possibility, but I'll just do an orbit here. Because on my maps it says I went right over top of it, so. Oh, there it is. quite level enough yet. That's what I was looking for. So I'm going to get level here, and I'm going to spin around and jump out of the airplane. Oh, sorry. I do this without killing myself. There we go. Okay, found it, did it. Cool. I just did a quick trim changes, jumped out of the cockpit. Alrighty. I think this is called T-side or something like that. So, back in the airplane. Where are we going next? 314. That's 17 miles away. I don't know, all my life I've always found cooling towers to be neat pieces of engineering. I think the first ones I actually seen up close and personal was in Berwick, Pennsylvania. There's a nuclear power plant there. And at the time, this was before 9/11, you could get really close. I mean, really close. And but after that, everything changed, so. But they are, and they are just great landmarks. I mean, that you can see them. We have one not too far from us at Perry, Ohio, and they're just great landmarks. So you can see them, because they're just so massive, you can see them for quite a distance away, so. Yeah, I better get myself back on course. I'll line myself up in the cockpit here. Oh, that's probably a little bit better. Still off course. So, 14 miles away, where are we going next? Looks like Durham Cathedral. Looks like some windmills out in front of us. Yeah, I think when we started looking, and I bet you we looked for a week. We were on. I don't know if they were really waiting lists, but we had. We did. I guess you had feelers out. So so like I said, all of a sudden, because Sherry had my girlfriend had went ahead and made some preliminary information, that kind of stuff, and like I said, then they called and they said you can have an appointment the next day. I went, oh wow, that's kind of different, and I was seriously impressed how well they were organized. They really. I think our appointment was at 7:30, and there easily had to be 50 people waiting in line for that appointment. But man, they just like worked right through it. Like it was like not a big deal. It was so well done. I was so impressed. So, and then the second one, we had an appointment for 7:45, and we got there about 7 o'clock. There was no line. We just went ahead and just walked in. No big deal. We're 45 minutes early. We got our second dose, and we were on our way. I think we were out of there by 7:10. It was maybe 7:15 because we had to wait. You gotta wait like 15 minutes after you get it. So let's jump out just for a second. Pretty cool. Oops. That didn't go well. I keep looking the direction my plane's supposed to be going when I put myself back in the cockpit, and I'm usually misaligned with the virtual cockpit when I do that. Okay, so we're 8 miles out from the cathedral. Trying to figure out. There's like 2 different runs of power lines there, and it's kind of like I mean, it could be from them windmills, but it doesn't seem to be quite lined up to that. I'm thinking it's got to be something else. I don't know, but it is kind of weird, you know, that you have, you know, high tension power lines like parallel, 2 of them, with at least 2 or 3 lines on each tower, so it's kind of just a little different. So I'm on course. I'll go ahead. I pulled the power back a little bit to get the plane to descend. It says I'm about 3.5 miles out, so pretty shortly you would think I'd be in my windscreen. And after this, looks like we gotta make a right-hand turn. If I remember right, next is Angels of the North. And if I remember right, that was kind of on the coast, but I could have misremembered also. So this should be Durham Cathedral. I would say that's rendered well enough. You can see it from some distance away. Yep. Looks pretty nice. Yeah, that looks really, really nice. Okay. So, Angel of the North is 8 miles away. So it should be on the heading of 358, so just a little bit to the left of north. Yeah, what I remembered. So we have Angels of the North, Thayer Bridge, and St. James Park before we end up in at Newcastle at the airport there. All in all, the weather turned out okay. It was way too overcast for me to begin with, so I told it to have cirrus clouds, and so because I just don't like completely clear skies. It's just I don't like it. And I don't have any weather add-ons. I'm just whatever. I'm just using the default weather from X-Plane. So we're 2 miles away from Angels of the North. So let me get a little bit lower here. So I don't like overfly it and go, where was it? It's supposed to be real close here. It's a mile away. To my left, there it is. Okay, trim. Out of the cockpit. There it is. Pretty cool. Acts like I'm descending, but so that's called Angels of the North. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Alrighty, back in the cockpit. How bad you doing? You're doing okay. So, got to turn a little bit here. 3 miles. These are all pretty close together. Okay, so this is a bridge 2 miles away. So I see water. So the bridge should be right in front of me. Of course, it's got to go across the water, so. Thank you. So, not sure which bridge. There's a few of them here. So, I'm gonna have this bridge here. We have another bridge. We have a bunch of bridges here. A bridge here, bridge here, bridge here, bridge here, bridge here, bridge. That's not a bridge. I don't know what that is. But this is kind of cool. In the same way I don't know what this is here. That's pretty neat too. That may be a people bridge. Alrighty. I gotta figure out, am I actually going the right way? No. No, I'm not, but I'm gonna go over this anyhow. And I'm gonna look for where I'm supposed to be going. And this may actually be where I'm supposed to be going. Yeah. I think so. Okay, back in the plane. Figure out where you're at, though. Okay. So, I gotta be at a heading of 329. So we took just a little bit of a detour there. Oh, okay. Just not an airliner kind of person. I love my GAs. 329. Okay. Figured out what I'm doing here. Round tower. Cessna 3256, inbound to land.
Aircraft calling tower, say again with your call sign.
Cessna 3256, inbound to land. Brain freeze. Cessna 256, Bravo Golf, inbound to land.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, good morning. Squawk 1200, altimeter 29er 7, enter pattern on a left downwind for runway 25. Call downwind.
Okay, runway 25, hit here. Okay. Hi, babe. How are you? What you doing? Looking at me? I know you did. I heard you come in. Yeah, I know. Oh, no. You won't scare me. Yeah. Good. So I'm guessing there's that's a control tower there. So that's probably a runway. Yep. Okay, I'm a little bit low. Elevation here is 266 feet, so I should be about 1,200, 1,300 feet, but that absolutely is a runway. If I have my bearings set up correctly, if I make a left turn right here, that'll be a left downwind for runway 25. Still a little bit low. Nope, wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. Okay. I'm on a 2-5 heading, so I'm just going to go out here a little bit. Just get away from the airport a bit. Gain a little bit of altitude, and I need to be on the other side of that runway. I didn't catch it quite quick enough. Because I will actually be landing on that end of that runway, so that's okay. Yeah, so I should have made a right-hand turn, did a teardrop, and turned in over there, so. But I didn't have the runway clear enough in my sights to make that call that early. So I can actually do this pretty tight. Just trying to get to 90 degrees with this runway here. Making sure my compass and my directional gyro is in sync. Okay. So when I turn on the downwind, I should be about 1,200 feet. I'm about 200 feet high right now. Be too close. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind, runway 25.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, call turning final for runway 25.
I'm feeling like I'm a little bit too tight to that runway. So I'm going out at a little bit of an angle to try to increase my amount of time when I turn on base. Okay. So straighten myself back up. I'm in the white arc, so I can put out 1 notch of flaps. Trying to get parallel with the runway. I'm looking to be like a 45-degree angle here when I turn my base. I'm saying I should be good, so I'm turning on base. 1 more notch of flaps. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf turning final, runway 25.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 252 at 18 knots, cleared to land runway 25.
I turned a little early. Get rid of a little bit of power here. You're definitely going to make this runway, so get rid of the, put the last notch of flaps in. Happy lights are pretty dim.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf exit runway when able.
Laps up. Well, it wasn't butter, but it wasn't bad. Is that a taxiway there? Yeah, I think so. It's a bit narrow, but I can certainly fit that there. Park over here by the fuel. Kind of funny to have these cars inside the fence. Okay, put parking brake on. Already, we made it. Didn't do too bad. Everything worked out. So cool. So, yeah, we're all good. So, I'm going to turn off the avionics. Pull the mixture back. Get all the lights turned off. Everything killed. So far, so good. Yeah, that went well. Took about as long as I thought, and landing was quite well. It was, yeah, it was good. It was good. So, no big deal. Alrighty, anybody who enjoyed this content, please click on the follow button. And I normally, if I'm going to stream, I'll stream at around 11 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. And I don't necessarily stream every day, but I stream many days. And and like I said, I'm recreating the flights that I did in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm recreating them in X-Plane. And it is pretty awesome. And I'm using Orbix True Earth for the UK. And today, pretty much every landmark that was in Microsoft Flight Simulator, I found in X-Plane, which is, I find pretty cool. So, because landmarks they're kind of neat to visit, but the more important part is for VFR flying, they're points of interest where you can make sure that you're on your flight path, your flight plan. So, alrighty, I'm going to call it a day, and y'all have a great day. I know I had a lot of fun today. So, goodbye.